Hey everybody, so in this video I want to talk about how mental practice helps solve a huge weakness of pianists. And I'm still here between, I believe, Pier 11 and Pier 15 near Wall Street here in New York City. It's still a cold winter day. I recorded 2 other videos here, but I'm still here having a good time. And yeah, I'm going to talk about what that weakness or danger that all pianists face is and how mental practice helps to solve that. So on this channel, I hope to share with you guys strategies, thoughts, mindsets, etc., often of my own creation that I hope will help you in your piano playing, hopefully other areas as well. I think this will be a pretty short one, but I've said that before, and that hasn't turned out to be true, so we'll see. So I'm talking about how for pianists, for the most part, our instruments are not portable. Like most of the time, I know that there are exceptions, like there are gigging musicians that bring their keyboards and so on, but as a classical pianist, for the most part, for me, I'm not going to be carting my instrument around. I'm not going to be transporting, my upright or my, baby grand piano to different locations. And so that is actually a weakness, because a lot of the time we can become consciously or subconsciously dependent on cues in our environments. And so what does that mean for us as performers? I mean, there's definitely other ways to combat this weakness. Literally just performing on different pianos, performing in different situations. If you want to hear more about that, you can look at my performance or performance training playlist, or you can search David Chang performance. There's a video called David Chang How to Perform for Anyone, Anywhere, Anytime that you can search on Google or YouTube, and I think you'll find a lot of useful tips in those and other videos. But mental practice helps to address this in a different way, and I would argue at least equally powerful, if not more powerful, because mental practice can be done anywhere, including right here. So, for instance, if I were, walking here by myself, if I were walking here with my wife or family, I can be mentally practicing my pieces. And if you want to know more about this, then you can search David Chang mental practice. There's many different YouTube shorts of me doing it. Some of them a little bit odd maybe, but you'll kind of see some real life examples. There's also long form videos if you search on my channel for them, if you want to know more in detail how do you go about mental practice. There's many different types. There's with the music, there's without music, and so on. But in any case, so if I'm practicing doing that here, I'm going over my pieces, I am no longer dependent on exact environmental cues. It's like when you're playing the piano at home, it might be that there's like something on the wall, or there's certain sounds, and there's certain other things in your environment that you aren't even aware of. And when those elements are missing, it may cause you to have memory slips because you're so dependent on that feeling, that environment. It's not just the piano, it's even the environment itself and all the stuff that's around, all the stuff that you're taking in terms of like sights, sounds, like even smells and so on. So here, like if I'm doing mental practice over here, I could be walking around to different parts. I could be doing mental practice, before I go to bed, when I'm waiting for the subway, when I'm at the airport, when I'm, walking through a park or something like that, when I'm on vacation. And now I'm able to successfully play the piece in my mind, regardless of where the heck I am. And so if I'm performing the piece on a totally new instrument in an unfamiliar environment, I mean, I'm used to playing in all different environments, and the mind doesn't. I mean, there's been many studies done to show that the same areas of the mind are activated, or the brain, and so I really am like playing the piece, like I'm going through the same coordinations mentally and so on, and so I'm going to be much more able to adjust to different pianos and so on. Believe it or not, even just from that mental practice alone. And to clarify in terms of what I mean by mental practice, I'm not talking about imagining the sheet music, but I'm talking about imagining yourself like physically playing the keys. If you search David Chang, the strongest memory technique for pianists or something like that, I think it's the first one in the mental practice playlist. I go into a lot more detail about what exactly that means, so that hopefully you can start doing it as well. And there's also like 10 different tips for starting mental practice and so on, if you look at that mental practice playlist on the David Chang music channel. So anyway, in a nutshell, as long as you're doing mental practice in different environments, it will really help you to adapt to all different pianos, all different environments, in probably a way that you haven't experienced before if you haven't tried this already, just because you're truly not dependent on any sort of environment. It's like how a violinist could just take their violin here and they could start playing here. we can actually reap that same benefit, even though we all have the weakness of instruments that frankly are a lot less portable much of the time. So anyway, hope you found that useful or interesting. Let me know if you have questions, thoughts. If you did find this useful, please like, subscribe, let other people know about the channel. As you can see, a lot of what I'm doing is trying to direct you guys to other videos that are just going to be too long when I'm recording like a 5 or 6 minute video, but you can always explore more. It's kind of like a customized, like modular course in that sense. So hopefully that's helpful. All right, see you guys in the next one.